Welcome back. So we just created an Aura passive ability C++ class. I'm going to compile and launch the editor and make some placeholder abilities based on this class. So I'd like to create 3 of these, and we're going to fill in the ability info data asset for these passive spells. First, I'm going to go into Ability System Aura Abilities, and we already have passive startup abilities. These are passive abilities that we don't really want to call spells. They're just things that work for us, utility abilities. We're going to make some specifically passive spells now. So I'm going to make a new folder called Passive Spells, and these will be actually spells that we cast in the game using our spell menu and such. So I'm going to make 3 placeholder spells. I'm going to make a new blueprint class and search for Aura passive ability. Choose that class and call this GA underscore Halo of Protection. I'm going to open Halo of Protection and right away give it an ability tag, choosing Abilities Passive Halo of Protection. So that way it can be identified by that tag. With that, I'm going to close it down and create another one. And this will be also based on Aura passive ability. And I'm going to call this one GA underscore Life Siphon. I'll open it up and right away add to its ability tags, Abilities Passive Life Siphon, compile, save, and close. And I'll create one more, again based on Aura passive ability. And this one will be GA underscore Mana Siphon. I'll open it up, add to its ability tags, Abilities Passive Mana Siphon, close, and I'll save all. So now that I have 3 passive abilities, I'd like to create data in our data asset for ability info. So we'll go to Blueprints Ability System Data and open DA Ability Info, where we already have ability info for Firebolt and Electrocute. I'm going to add 3 new elements to this array. So I'm going to click +1, 2, 3 times and expand all 3 of these so we can fill them in. Now, the ability tag for the first one is going to be Abilities Passive Halo of Protection. And I don't have a cooldown tag, but the ability type is going to be passive. So I'm going to use Abilities Type Passive for that. And I'm going to look for an icon, and I'm going to search for Halo and choose Halo. And if you browse to Halo, you can see that it looks like this. So we have an icon, and for the background material, I can search for BG and choose any one of these, but I'm going to browse to it, and here's our Fire Skill BG. I'm going to right-click on it and duplicate it and call this one MI underscore Halo Skill BG. And Halo Skill BG is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to move its color. I'm going to slide it over to the yellow so it's a little bit more yellow. I'm going to increase the cloud darkness just a bit, and the perimeter shadow can go up just a little. And with that, actually I don't want too much perimeter shadow here. But with that, we have a yellow background. I can have this selected and then come back in here and set my background here to Halo Skill BG. Now I'm going to make all of these passive spells have a level requirement of 2, just so we can test out leveling up and seeing those spells become eligible in our menu. So I'm going to set that level requirement to 2 and set the ability for this to GA Halo of Protection. And now we have Halo of Protection in our ability info. I can now move on to my next index, and I'm going to set the ability tag to passive.lifesiphon. And for Life Siphon, we have our ability type. It's going to be passive. And for the icon, I can search for life. And here's a Life Siphon, and if I browse to it and open it, here's what the Life Siphon icon looks like. Now, for the background, I'd like to make a new background for Life Siphon as well. So I'm going to browse to where I just created my Halo Skill BG, and I'm going to duplicate this one and call this one MI Life Siphon Skill BG. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to change the color yet again. I'm going to make it a nice red, a nice bright red, but my cloud darkness can change just a bit. In fact, I can go almost into the negatives, but I don't want it to go too crazy here. And my perimeter shadow can get a little bit darker. So I have my life siphon. This might be a little bit on the too bright side. Do want to make sure it looks good. So once I get this looking how I want it, something like that, then I can have this selected and come back and set that for the background material. And I'll set the level requirement to 2 and the ability to GA Life Siphon. Moving on, we have one more. This is going to be Abilities Passive Mana Siphon. The ability type will be passive. The icon is going to be the same as Life Siphon. I'm just going to use that drop again. And I'll go ahead and make a new background for this one. I'm going to duplicate Mana Globe. So I'm going to duplicate this, call this MI Mana Siphon Skill BG. I'm going to open this one and just raise the color a bit so it's not so dark. I'm going to make it a little bit brighter like this. And I think that's good. I do want to make sure that my progress is above 1, so there's no band there. I don't want to see that band. And my cloud darkness, I'd like it to be barely there, and perimeter shadow can come up just a bit, and there we have a background. So we're going to set that there, set the level requirement to 2, and set the ability to Mana Siphon, and we have ability info. Perfect. So with that, now that we have ability info, we're going to need to do a few things in our menu system to make sure that we can start seeing these in our spell menu. And while we're at it, we're going to be testing things in multiplayer to make sure that things will work, as we haven't tested our spell menu in multiplayer yet. So there are a few issues that we'll encounter and fix with our spell menu, and we'll take care of those things in the next video. I'll see you soon.